Welcome to This Is My Circus, the podcast where we embrace the chaos and keep it real about parenting, pop culture, true crime, and the books we can't put down.
Because let's be honest, life is one big circus, and we're just trying to survive with caffeine, sarcasm, and a little true crime obsession.
So if you love unfiltered conversation, questionable parenting hacks, and deep dives into the things that keep us up at night, you're in the right place.
Buckle up, grab your popcorn, and let's get into the chaos.
I'm Stefanie.
I'm Meredith.
And welcome to This Is My Circus.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
Alexis just texted me a series to read, like literally just now. And she was like, I'm on book 5 and these are really good. It is not kid friendly. I have actually already read these and they are not kid friendly at all.
What is it?
So for anybody who wants to listen, it's called Black Dagger Brotherhood series. They're by J.R. Ward, W-A-R-D.
It sounds like a motorcycle series.
No, not necessarily motorcycle, but definitely tough dude.
Bad guy,
good guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We don't have any problems with those. And I can't remember how many books are in there, but very explicit.
Yes.
But good books.
Spicy?
Oh.
Very spicy.
Raunchy.
Chili pepper spicy.
All the chili peppers you can imagine. And some of them aren't chili peppers that I like, but somebody's going to like that kind of pepper. Let's just stop.
The pepper analogy is
I find myself in these conversations and I don't know when to just stop. So I'm going to make myself stop there. What you been doing?
Nothing really. I don't know. What I didn't do.
I told you look super tan, but you're like, no.
Mm-hmm. I think it's because it's a light color shirt.
Maybe they do give a little bit of extra color. You look cute.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm feeling summery today.
You do look summery today.
Well, you know what it is it rained for so many days in a row.
Yeah.
And it's finally sunny out. And it was like, blah.
Yeah. Agreed. And it's not humid sunny. Mm-hmm. It is nice sunny.
Yeah. Rex this morning, I had on my pajama pants and a hoodie.
Did you? So now that Jay's driving himself in the morning, thank God, I was literally still in my PJs when Brian got home. Like, I'm talking no bra, like just chilling. He was like, okay. I was like, yeah, this is what it was today. But what's so funny is one of Emmy, our dog that runs away, she'll come back, but she just likes to go see everybody in the neighborhood. She left, went to my neighbor's, and my neighbor brought her over. And I just stood there and talked to her for like 30 minutes in my
no bra.
And usually that is not me. But yeah, I was just like, you know what? I've lived beside her this long. She knows I'm crazy. This is the one who's, moving. Mm-hmm. And I told her I needed to put some Christmas decorations up and stuff.
Christmas in July.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Did you see, I put it on our Facebook page and I think I texted you, Sarah's. That was so awesome. Mm-hmm. That was so awesome. So she is one who, when we've missed a week, she's just commented that she's missed us, recording. Well, when she sent us a picture of our faces in her car, that was so surreal, but it was just really, really cool. So thank you, Sarah, for that.
Thank you for listening.
Yes, Sarah. And I'm not even going to try her last name. It's a long one.
So I finally got new tires on my car.
Okay, good.
I've needed new tires for the last year, but I don't ever drive anywhere. And I'm like, I deal with it next week. And like next week became next month. And then all the things happened. Mm-hmm. So my tire, when I got back from my trip, was completely flat, like on the ground flat.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh my gosh. So I was trying to fill it up. It wouldn't fill up because it was so flat.
Oh.
So the dude across the street, thank God, did like the little jack thingy and then he put the air in that way. And
little jack thingy. We're such car mechanics over here, aren't we?
I'm so technical. So as I'm like trying to figure out why the air wouldn't blow up the tire, I look under the tires were so bad. There was like wires sticking out of the tires. Like,
I've been there before.
I was like, OMG.
Yeah.
So I finally got the new tires put on. Thank goodness.
Good.
But that got me thinking. I don't think I ever told you this story. Did I tell you the story about the dryer when it was like not really drying and Okay. So I come downstairs and there's like water leaking from the light. And I'm like, what in the world? Like, oh my God, something is leaking. There's a pipe burst, something. So I'm looking on YouTube to figure out what to do. And so it says if there's a dryer upstairs, it might be something clogging up like the vent or whatever.
Okay.
Because, like all like the fluffy stuff
Yeah,
gets
the
in there.
dryer would have that much moisture?
I guess. I mean,
okay. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. So this
right.
check here. I mean, okay, check here. So I go upstairs, I unhook like the little duct thingy.
Yeah.
The silver pipe thingy.
Big old thing. Yeah.
And so I'm looking in there, but I can't see anything. So me, being me, sticks my hand in there and I'm pulling out like all the fluffy stuff.
Right. All the lint. Yeah.
Then my hand touches.
No. What was it?
A dead bird. I was pulling out all the fluff and I'm like, well, this is different. And as I'm pulling it out,
fluff. Yeah.
and I pulled it out and all the feathers.
Oh.
When I tell you, I like screamed. I did like the little like hippity hop. Like
you did the hip hop hippity. Oh my gosh, Steph, that is crazy.
So I'm like totally freaking out at this point, right? And it wasn't a small bird.
Okay.
It was a bigger bird.
Okay.
So then I get like a long thingy to stick in there, so I'm not touching it,
right?
Which I probably should have done in the first place. And
you don't think about an animal just being up there.
No. Okay. And then another one is in there. And I'm like totally freaking out, right? Dylan was at Tyler's house. I called Dylan crying. I'm like, can you come home? And he's like, what's wrong? And I was like, there's dead birds. So I look in the back in the dryer. It wasn't in like the spinny part where you put your clothes. Yeah. It was like underneath. There was one stuck in there, like a dead bird stuck in there. So there was like a whole family of birds that got cooked in the vents. Okay. So I called Dylan. I'm like, I can't even get in there. I was just like, so.
Oh yeah.
I was just totally.
Well, that's kind of a 2-person job anyway to try to figure that out.
So I give Dylan the big rubber gloves. Like, don't touch anything. And I give him a tongue. Yeah. That I threw away. After. Yeah. So we're trying to like get it so that he like lays in there. He gets the last bird out. So then we had somebody come to clean the vents because I'm like, well, this is not okay. Yeah. And they found another nest and then like another bird that was in there as well.
Another cooked one?
There was a whole city of birds.
If the bird population is down.
But the dryer is working much better now.
I'm sure it is. Like 20 minutes and things are dry. Just like that. Okay, why would a bird do that?
I don't know. When my brother had put the vent thingy back on, if it goes one way or the other, like one direction, I guess it's supposed to keep the birds out. Whatever it is. Well, apparently he didn't put it on the right way.
Well, it was more like an entrance door. Yeah. So it was like, welcome.
Or they were in there before and they've been in there that long. Yeah. I don't really know, but it was so gross. It was so disgusting.
Would you have rather it have been birds or like squirrels?
No, I don't want any of it. But I was finding feathers for like weeks. It was so gross. It was so gross. I don't do.
No, I know, but I feel like that's better than like finding a mouse or something. Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I don't want any of it, but
could you imagine if they were alive still? It like flew out. Like
no. I have a friend who is deathly afraid of birds. Like afraid. That would just be the end of. She would be laying on the ground dead right now. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, I had the garbage bag with like all the stuff in it, and when Dylan got the last one out of the dryer,
he rested.
I was like, just take it right outside. Just get it out of the house. Please.
No.
It was so bad. This was like months ago though. Like I tell you. I think I said, remind me to tell you about the dryer.
Yeah, and probably. And with all of the other things we have going on.
It was so gross.
Well, it doesn't matter. Like, okay, so one goes in there and he's like, hey guys, don't come in here. I can't come out. And they're like, no, I'll come help you. Then they all go in there.
Or they all brought their little twigs and stuff to build like yeah, I don't know. Who knows how long
there was nobody left to ask. Huh? Yeah. So I take our washer and dryers on our bottom floor and I take our leaf blower and blow it out.
Well, this is upstairs.
Yeah. But I take the lint thing out and put it there and I clean it out. Yeah.
I am like not built for home projects. Like this is.
I thought you did good though with the YouTube in it and trying to figure it out.
Figure it out the problem, but I shouldn't be doing the things.
You shouldn't. You're way too pretty to be doing those things.
Not built for the things.
We had a situation, this has been years ago, where we were sitting, my family had been over all day and we were sitting in the living room. They had gone and you're kind of like decompressing from everybody being over and everything. And all of a sudden water starts dripping from our, like a can light.
Mhm.
And Brian and I look at each other, and Brian doesn't handle stuff like that. Like his initial response is, what is going on? Yeah. Like he's just, and that's just how he's wired. We're both working on things that we have to work on, but his initial response is to just kind of freak out about all kinds of things. So come to find out, the bathtub upstairs had been used by, I don't know if Jackson took a bath. I don't know what happened, but it overflowed. And when it did, it came down. So it was an easy fix. But at the moment that it happened, it was like, and our house wasn't that old.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, what in the world?
We had to get a new roof put on in our bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
It started raining the one night, and it was one of the bad night storms, like middle of the night.
Yeah.
And we just hear like drip, drip, drip. And I'm like, what is that? Like, what is going on? And it was just a big bubble formed on the ceiling, and it just started dripping out. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I go into the bathroom and I put the lights on, and in the shower light, like in the stand-up shower, water was dripping out of the light. And I'm like, this is not safe.
This isn't good. This isn't how it's
electric and water does
right,
not.
they usually don't mix well, no.
Yeah. So I obviously called the next day and had somebody come out to look at it, but or roofer or whatever. But we had to get the whole new roof because I guess we get such weird winds, like the sideways.
Yeah.
Like when the rain comes in.
Sideways rain, as Forrest would say. All that stuff. And this is that time of year where we're getting out of it now, like the bad rains and the tornado warnings and all that kind of stuff we have. Thank goodness. Now we'll just get into the 200 degrees weather. I know. Take your poison. It is. It is. Is your pool ready? Speaking of, can I go do a cannonball?
Sure.
Is it cleaned out though? It's all good.
There's just, I guess, from however over the winter, like the bottom got stained a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I've been like trying to scrub it, and I can't scrub it, and
I can't scrub it.
It's clean, but like I'm just trying to get off the stains off the wall.
Yeah. Are you using like a magic eraser?
Yeah, but it's like underwater.
And so it wants to float. Are you tall enough to?
No.
Is that the problem?
I put on my scuba mask.
Can you stand on it and do it with your foot?
Well, there's like a deep end too, though. I probably, if there was somebody taking a video, it would have been something to see, I'm sure.
Okay.
I zip tied the magic eraser to a mop.
I think that's a great idea.
And then I was scrubbing. I got like all the walls scrubbed, but then once it gets to the ground or like the bottom, is where I was having trouble. And so then I was like, well, I'm going to have to get in the pool and like mop it. Yeah. Well, I broke the mop that way.
That sounds like a Shark Tank thing that could be made though.
And I was like, there's got to be a magic eraser mop, right? Well, there is, but it's only a little magic eraser.
Like the same size as
but it's like just attached. So like you flip it over and you have a stain, and then you flip it over and there's a regular mop. There's not like a real
I like the zip tie. I like that a lot. But those are, mine always fall apart.
Oh yeah. I went through like 2 boxes.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Well, at least it'll come off and it works.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ring cameras, I walk the dogs and do the things. Well, one of my favorite dogs that I take care of is a Rottweiler named Bella. Her family was gone, and I was walking her, and she's, obviously big, strong, whatever. And she's excited and she jumps, but she and I are usually just fine. Well, right when I was walking her one night, a little yappy dog went by, and I know how you feel about them because you've had the same experience. She pulled me down, and I crashed right in their front yard. And then the little dog continued to go eventually, but I couldn't get up because Bella was so excited. I was down on the ground with her. She thought that it was lovey time. So we were cuddling for a minute, and I just sat there in the yard and cuddled her. Well, then I went to get up again, and the dog had turned around, and she went again. And I was like, So Bella and I just sat on the floor. So I messaged her people, and I was like, not sure how far your cameras go, but if they go to like the sidewalk at the road, send me that clip.
Send it to America's Funniest Home Videos.
As long as you can't see my face.
So we've both been taken out by little dogs.
Little dogs. Little dogs are the worst.
Still have a scar.
You should put that scar tape on it.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I've been putting some on this injury, which is from when I fell, breaking up the fight in basketball. Because it was lumpy, and I was cutting my knee when I shaved because it wasn't smooth. So Jackson had a basketball tournament last weekend. They did really good. They played 4 games, won the championship, and all 4 games they ended early. The first 3 because we were winning by so much. The last one because fights were breaking out. I can't stand parents. I cannot.
Was it the parents or the kids?
It was the parent. The kids were entitled jerks, but I see where they got it from. Mm-hmm. Jackson came off, and we've talked about this before. Our boys are relatively chill. Mm-hmm. Like, they'll let a lot build. They're not hotheads who immediately flip. He walked off the court to where I was, and that is something he doesn't do in a game. He does not come to me. He goes to the bench and deals with his team. He came to me and he was like, Mama, I don't know what those parents down there are saying, but they're just a yapping. He said, I was like, well, what are, I'm shocked because he came up, all the things. And he said, they're just yapping because their kid can't guard me. And he started rolling his shoulders. He said, I told him to hit the weight room. And I was like, oh gosh. So then I was like, well, let me just mosey down there and make sure, let me just see what they're saying. So I traveled to the other end where their parents were sitting, and 2 of our parents were over there too. So I was kind of standing with them, but listening. And the other parents warned me, our parents, her name is Kia. She was like, there's a lot going on over here. I said, that's what the kids were telling me. So I just wanted to see what was going on. Well, there was this one girl. I kept calling her Big Girl, and I had no right to call her that, but I felt like because I can. And she was just too prissy, like just doing too much and videoing everything. And, that saying, act like you've been here before, act like you've been in a championship game, have a little, just everything was whatever. Well, in basketball, if they have the ball and they have their elbows up, they can move like this. They can't swing their elbow, but they can kind of make space. Mm-hmm. Well, Jackson did that, and apparently he hit her kid. Well, she jumped up. And she was like, hey, he's swinging his elbow and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, he did like this. She said, yeah, he did like that. And I said, he can do like that. And I was like, let me check myself out and go on back down there and just stay away. So they ended up calling that game a couple minutes before it was over. We were up by like 15, I think. I think there was a minute and a half left. Should have done it before. But they ended up telling us, you guys go ahead and leave the gym and go outside. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm not just going to go outside. They're going to come outside. Mm-hmm. But we did, because we did what we were told. And some of the other parents came up and they're like, don't judge us by, the few. There's always a few. Yeah. Anyway, so our boys won. That should be the last basketball tournament.
Don't you feel like the parents that do the most, it's because it's when they're losing and they can't accept that they're losing because of skill?
Yes. Well, so a couple of other games we were up by like 40 and there's 5 or 6 minutes left. Like, we're up by 40. We've only got 7 players. We're playing in a 10th grade thing. Some of ours are 9th grade players. Like, they're just a really well coached, good group of athletic boys. And the other parents were yelling at the refs about things. First of all, that they didn't know what they were talking about. The parents, they were just
talking.
And then the coach was too, like, you're not losing by 40 because of a bad call.
I'm only laughing because that was me the first year of lacrosse when I didn't know the rules, and I was just
just yelling.
By the end, I knew the rules.
You knew the rules.
And I was still yelling because I knew the rules.
Right.
But
right. No, but you're exactly right. I was just like, you're not losing this game by that many points because of, bad calls. It just doesn't happen. So I'm glad that basketball is over for now. So that was the AAU stuff. We are in full football. Well, I say that, but he's got school basketball June workouts. Those are not mandatory, but mandatory, if that makes sense. But we're in full football right now. So he's got some college camps coming up. He's got one this week at Anderson. Oof. Actually, when everybody's listening to this, that's where Jackson will be.
Awesome.
And then, just doing that circuit.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry. I went on a little rant.
All good. I love it. I love hearing parents acting bad.
Parents behaving poorly.
Yes.
It ruins things.
Yes.
Well, I've been doing some digging. I told you that I had a relative in my history that we'll get into
one day.
One day when I put all the pieces together, that she's still on death row, by the way. She's still alive and she's still in prison on death row.
Well, I did listen to like 20 podcasts.
20 other podcasts. As I was looking through trying to connect all the pieces like on ancestry.com and figure out where the connection is, I have a relative that her name was Temperance Delight. Born in like 1920 or something like that. Temperance Delight.
Huh.
That's quite a name. It is.
It's a stripper name.
It is called Temperance Delight. Maybe, I don't know, but
she was a lady of the night. Really? She's like the preacher's wife.
But all of the other, that's funny you say that because the dad was a preacher.
Yes. Uh-huh.
The other kids were like Blanche and Vernon and all these other things. And she was Temperance Delight. So
I saw something on Facebook, speaking of Blanche, and she was 42 in Golden Girls. We are Golden Girls.
I know.
But why did Golden Girls back then?
I thought they were like in their 60s.
Me too.
And Sophia was 80. And she was the youngest out of all of them.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Well, why are we not living in a house together in Florida then?
Goals.
Where do they live? Miami? Lauderdale, something like that?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
But yeah, I was like, oh, reality check. But I feel like we're like much younger than the Golden Girls.
Yeah, I feel like that too.
I don't feel like I'm a Golden Girl.
You're my Golden Girl.
In my head, I'm not.
No, I know. I'm just blown away by it. I think, so I'm closer to 50 than I am 40. And 50 is the new 30.
I like it.
That's what
I'm with it.
I'm trying to tell my neck and back.
That means I'm 20.
Yes, exactly. Can you buy booze or do I need to buy it for you?
I'm legal.
Just in case there are police officers listening, Stefanie is really not 20.
No. 42.
Yeah.
Harsh reality.
Let's not. How are you 42?
Mm-hmm. I'll be 43 in July, I think. Yeah.
I didn't realize that I was that much older than you.
How old are you?
I'll be 48.
That's not that much.
Well, I found out, this is brand new information, found out that I was going to be 48 this year. I thought I was turning 40. I missed a year. I thought I was turning 47, but I'll turn 48. And the only reason I know that is because Posey's turning 50, and she apparently doesn't listen because she's made 0 comments on my Double Digger challenge. So I'm putting it out there in the universe that Posey's going to be 50. There you go.
How about some Diddy updates?
So I haven't heard anything other than what Brian decided to tell me. And when he is giving me Diddy updates, there's some serious stuff going on. So he was telling me about, and I don't know if this is on your list, but he was telling me about this woman. He was like, there was this woman and baby oil and like several dudes were involved. And I'm like, that's pretty much the whole situation, Brian. And he was like, oh.
That was Cassie.
That's what I said. I said, was it Cassie? He was like, no. And I'm like, what?
Well, there's plenty.
So what's really jumped out at you this week?
Well, I sent you the Secret Service Sam to follow because his updates are phenomenal.
Amazing. Yes.
And Jean, the bodyguard, is there like just observing.
Okay.
And so Secret Service Sam did get like a little interview with him.
Okay.
While they were outside the courthouse. He didn't like drop any bombs or anything, but I was just like, oh, that's the dude. That's the dude. But there was a woman today, today is Tuesday. A woman today got forcibly removed from the courtroom.
Wow.
So it said, and there was a girl that was sitting next to her, and she gave like the whole recap.
The lowdown. Okay.
So she was walking in, and I guess you can't wear any like hats or scarves because they're afraid that you're going to have some kind of like device to record or whatever. So she was like, I want to wear my hat. It's religious reasons or something like that. And the bailiff was like, no, take it off. Like, we're not playing games today. Take it off or get out. So she's sitting there all mad and whatnot and says she got up and yelled to Diddy, they're trying to get you. They're laughing at you. Get the guns. And
I mean,
then she said, they're trying to take a black man down, this white supremacist system. The bailiff told her to calm down. And she told them, what are you going to do? Pull out your guns and shoot me? Then 3 bailiffs dragged her out of the courtroom. While being dragged, she was yelling, Diddy, these mother effers are laughing at you. Get the guns.
She needs some evaluations done.
Crazy. And then a YouTuber has been barred from coming in on anything because one of the witnesses, they're going by like pseudonyms or whatever, like because they don't want their identities out. And he was, I guess, either in the courtroom or whatever. He was reporting on it and released the person's like actual identity. So the judge found out and has barred this person from any of the trial stuff. Yeah. But did you see Kid Cudi took the stand?
No.
So Kid Cudi and Cassie dated.
Okay.
And I was like, give me all the details because Kid Cudi's car got blown up during all of this.
Yes. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So Kid Cudi said that him and Cassie were dating. Diddy found out. Cassie called Kid Cudi and was like, Diddy knows. And he's like, oh, well, you guys broke up. Who cares? Whatever. And she's like, no, you don't understand.
Yeah.
And then Capricorn, what was her name? It was his assistant. Whatever. Okay. His assistant had called him and said, hey, look out because he's at your house right now. She was in the car outside of his house. Diddy and other people broke into his house. She calls him from the car and she's like, yeah, we're here. Like, this is not good. Gosh. And dude's like, what the heck? So he jumps in his car to go and he's like, what am I doing? There's probably a bunch of them. So he calls the cops. Cops come there. By the time the cops get there, they're already gone. And Diddy opened up like the Christmas presents under the tree.
That's just...
But the worst part about it was that Kid Cudi's dog got drugged and put in a closet and locked in a closet.
Don't interfere with the doggies. Let the dog, or not interfere, but...
Yeah, so...
leave him alone.
Dude's car got blown up. And so Kid Cudi goes to see Diddy, like, what's up?
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? Yeah. And Cassie comes out and stands behind Diddy and was like, I choose him, or something to that effect. And I'm sure because she was like
terrified,
threatened her life, whatever. But Kid Cudi's like, you can have her. I'm out. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't want any part of this.
So fast forward however many months and they see each other and Diddy's like, yo, what's up? Like, nothing happened. And he's like, dude, like, you blew up my car. And he's like, yeah, sorry about that.
Crazy.
So dude's on stand. Right. Diddy's in the courtroom. And I'm sure, like, you're dead.
Yeah. I wonder what they were asking him about. Like, about that situation or just all of it altogether.
Well, they had brought that up because that's part of, like, the racketeering where he had people do stuff for him. Or like it was like a gang, like whatever criminal organization is what they're trying to prove.
Yeah.
For the racketeering. And
that's what they're trying to.
But, you know, I love me some 50 Cent.
What'd 50 do?
Oh, 50's doing the most. He's my King Petty Betty.
Wait, is he the one who's been all over X saying things?
He's on Instagram.
Okay,
tell me on X too, but
okay, tell me what you got, and I'll tell you if it's similar.
Okay, well, he learned how to use AI.
Oh, jeez.
Like AI images. So he's got like all sorts of pictures. But so Diddy, he's trying to get Trump to pardon him. Yeah. So 50 posts a clip of Diddy, I think during like the first election that he was running, saying all sorts of bad stuff about Trump. Like he needs to be whatever, banned or whatever it is. Yeah. And so he's like, hey, just as a reminder, and tag Trump. Right. So the caption read, well, can't ask him for help then, buddy. LOL.
And you sent me these.
And it's like a 30-second clip of him just like tearing apart Trump.
Just going off. Yeah.
And I was like, oof.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
So then he made a meme of, you know, because he learned how to use AI. And it says jury of peers. And it was a whole jury full of 50 cents.
Oh, full of 50s. I saw that. I saw that one. Like all the same 50, just different colors clothes. Yeah.
Okay. Capricorn Clark, that was the assistant's name, had on stand, brought 50 into it during the court case and said that back in the day, Puff had beef with 50. And so 50 runs to Instagram and he says, cut, wait a minute. Puffy's got a gun. I can't believe this. I don't feel safe. LOL.
Oh my goodness.
And I love that he still calls him Puffy.
It's just like a little disrespect on top of everything else.
Well, one of the women that testified described Diddy's package as a Tootsie Roll, like as
I've heard that. Yep.
As small as a Tootsie Roll. So 50 being 50, in one of the captions calls him Itty Bitty Diddy.
Oh my gosh.
I'll never be able to not call him Itty Bitty Diddy.
Itty Bitty Diddy.
But I love me some 50 troll.
I know. He's just basically sitting at his house, working the AI modules, doing his thing.
I can't get enough.
I know.
Keep it coming.
He's great.
Keep it coming.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Amazing.
Yeah. When Brian came home telling me about all this today, I was like, I'm glad you're interested, but I think this is probably like old news, kind of all of it together.
Yeah.
I thought he had some like major, because he was like, did you hear about the drama with Diddy? And I was like, no. Like, I thought he had some brand new piping hot tea. No, should have known better.
His algorithm is.
Yeah. I need to get a hold of his phone.
Well, I know we always talk about these weird conspiracy theories.
Oh, yeah.
So I found a new guy on TikTok that does so many.
On your weird talk?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's like on my personal TikTok, not on like the podcast TikTok. I get the weirdest things. I'm telling you, like my 3 a.m. scroll.
It's all put you in a crazy place.
Yeah.
Okay. What you got?
So this guy, his TikTok name is Maeve Approach.
Okay.
So his theory is that dinosaurs, when the asteroid hit Earth, not all of them died. They went underground to save themselves.
Okay.
And have evolved into the reptilians that people say when they're not human and they're reptilians and they show like the funky eyes. So they've evolved into this reptilian whatever.
Okay.
And they're not really lizard people. It's like evolved dinosaurs.
There's a theory for you. I don't buy that one. I buy a lot of the conspiracies, but I don't buy that one.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't buy that one. Are dinosaurs and dragons related?
Okay, so then I went down that rabbit hole of like dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Because I clicked on the video and then I was getting all these dinosaur things. And they say that dragons are dinosaurs that just didn't die off when all the dinosaurs died off. Like they lasted longer. And they're saying that T-Rex, his like little tiny arms. Somebody had taken like the skeleton, a picture of the skeleton, and they put it next to an ostrich, and its little wings are like the same bone structure as the T-Rex.
I 100% believe that.
So like his little arms might have been like little wings.
Because chickens are from dinosaurs, right? You're laughing at me like I'm not. You're laughing at the ostriches?
I'm laughing at
all of it.
Like people have this much time on their hands. So
I know.
Think about T-Rex arms. And they're not like dinosaur people for a career. It's people sitting at home. Why did the T-Rexes have little tiny arms? Let me pull it up their skeleton structure
and evaluate it against all of the current animals. Wait, no, I don't believe that one. And here's why. Ostriches lay eggs. T-Rexes were mammals.
Do we know that? I mean, like, we don't really know.
No, we don't really know. We just assume.
Yep. And they just found soft tissue, whatever, from some kind of like dig that they found somewhere.
That they dug. On a dinosaur?
For a dinosaur, some kind of soft tissue DNA or whatever that is now in some kind of lab. They're bringing back dinosaurs.
I would so go on the tour.
Totally, 100%.
They had a great podcast. We really loved them, but you know, they opened up the dinosaur park.
100% I would go. No doubt about it in my mind. Yeah, oh no, all of it.
Okay, I'll go on one. But can we not be in like an open Jeep?
Like, what do you want to go in? Like a tank?
Yeah.
No. I need the whole experience.
Or an open tank that we can close. What are you doing?
Picturing all those videos where the ostriches like pecking like for the food and people are freaking out, or the zebras.
Oh yeah, the giraffes lean over and get them.
So like a raptor jumps in.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of like safari type of things with like open. So I just saw, and this happened in like 2003 or 2005. And I never heard this before. So like it just blew my mind that in Africa or somewhere, a little girl got kidnapped. She was like 12 by these men, and a pack of lions chased off the men, or like mauled the men or whatever, and stayed with the little girl and protected her until the police found her. How awesome is that? But then I was like, I should have worked at a zoo. I
Yeah.
And then I, got all like the animal videos of like the trainers and the.
Oh yeah. Like, have you seen the ones where they haven't seen their lion that they raised and the lion comes up and like
hugs them? Yes.
Yeah. And like knocks them down and they're, or there's one with an orangutan too. And he runs and he jumps up to the woman and he's so excited. And then all of a sudden he sees the man and he's even more excited.
I missed my calling. Like, that is what I should have done. Like, my sole purpose was to cuddle animals.
Well, 100%. And Jackson and I have a new plan. Whenever we get a Saturday free, we are going to go do puppy yoga.
Oh.
You want to go with?
I do.
I've never done yoga officially in my life, but
I've only done it at home. Like, I've never done a class.
Right. No, yeah. I've been like, YouTube, okay, downward dog. But
Rex thinks I need help, but I'm doing yoga.
But they post what kind of dogs they have. And they've had Bernese Mountain Dogs. There's videos of St. Bernard puppies, golden retrievers.
So it's not little dogs. It's
English bulldogs, but they're puppies. So they're little, I mean,
they're still big.
They are still big. They're thick. They're thick.
Jump on your back.
They're not chihuahuas or Shih Tzus or anything small. But oh my gosh, that is.
Yeah. I'm in. Let me know.
Okay. Can't wait to do that one.
Don't make fun of me. I'm not flexible.
Oh God, not at all. Especially with all this I have going on today.
Well, do you want to do the Am I the A-hole?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about this. Am I the A-hole? You want me to talk about it? Okay. So I found the Am I the A-hole this week.
Yes. And
I found it because I was listening to a book that this was in.
I love that they have incorporated Am I the A-hole into books.
I know. And it's the very beginning of the book. And it is a little summer read. It's called Just for the Summer. Is the name of the book. And it's by Abby Jimenez or something. I don't know how to say her last name, but it's a series. Very cute summer romantic comedy kind of. Yeah, definitely beach read. Thank you. I was trying to get there and I couldn't. So I'm going to read the Am I the A-hole from the book. Okay. Am I the A-hole for naming my ugly dog after my ex-best friend? 29 male have been friends with Chad, 32 male, since we were born. Our moms are best friends and we grew up together and we were roommates for the last 10 years, up until the incident that set our current situation into motion. I have this little streak, if you will. Basically, every woman I date more than a few times ends up finding her soulmate right after we break up. So that's the premise of the book, because this woman also has this thing where she dates people, they break up, and they find their soulmate. So that's how they connected. But here's the rest of the dog story. It started 3 years ago, and now it's happened 5 times. We break up, and the very next person they date is the one. My friends think this is hilarious. I always part ways with the women on good terms, and I'm happy they're happy. But my buddies tease me mercilessly about it. They call me the good luck charm. Anyway, forward to 5 months ago, I dated Hope for a few weeks. Not a big deal. We decided we weren't feeling it, no chemistry, so we called it quits. And then, lo and behold, she hits it off with Chad, his roommate. Of course, in true luck charm and fashion, this means Chad is her soulmate. Chad's all googly-eyed over her. They've met the parents. They're ring shopping. They want to move in together immediately. Only problem is Chad has 6 more months on our lease, but they found the perfect home for him and Hope. He can't afford to have the rent in both places, so he has to make the decision to leave. So I've spent weeks stressing. I didn't want to find a new roommate. The landlord wouldn't let me out of the lease. Only unit available in the complex is a studio. It's small, but it's temporary and it's cheap. I jumped on the chance, but this is why it's terrible. It directly faces one of the billboards for the Toilet King. So anyway, because, and this keeps going over. So now after all this, he named the dog Chad after his roommate that he's still like best friends with. But anyway, it's just a cute book. Now, so do you think he's the a-hole for naming the dog after his ugly dog after his ex-roommate?
No.
I don't think so either.
No.
I don't think so either. And everybody wants him to change the dog's name after, they find out the story behind it. They're like, just change the dog's name. He's like, no.
No, I don't think he's the a-hole.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either. But it was so funny. So he talks about the dude is dressed like Henry Tudor and holding a plunger over a giant poop-filled toilet bowl. It should be illegal, right? I'm annoyed, but I decided to try. I find a reason to spend more time outside so I don't have to stare out of my window. So I got the dog. Chad would never agree to it before, but now I have named him Chad. I think it's hilarious.
His roommate.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. So the whole book is, and I know some of our people that aren't bookies are still here, but the whole book is just filled with that just funny, witty kind of stuff. So read it if you want to.
Feel free to name your next pet after Stefanie.
Or Meredith. You should get two. Two, Stefanie and Meredith. The chunky one is me. The lazy one is me.
The short one is me.
The one with all the energy is Steph. I would die if somebody named their pets after us.
Y'all have to do it.
What if they're like gerbils? I would lose it. If somebody named an animal after me and you, well, I mean, two animals. Their name's not like Stefanie Meredith or Meredith Stefanie, but two separate animals. Even if it's fish, like the fish that just die after a week. Well, some fish just don't. No, I would lose it. That's when I'll know we have made it.
Yes. Well, I'm just saying, good names.
Great names. Think of all the nicknames. Oh my God.
Your person?
Your person. Mare Bear. I don't know why that popped in my head. So that was just a little quick, short, Am I the a-hole?
Well, I think we're going to move on to our book. So if you're not a bookie, peace out. We love you.
We love you.
Leave a review. Tell your friends.
Learn to read.
Adios. So for our bookies this week, we have read She Was the Quiet One by Michelle Campbell. And this kind of, I thought, was going to have all the things like there was the boarding school and like the rich, snobby kids and all the things. So ChatGPT gave me this little line.
Okay.
In Michelle Campbell's She Was the Quiet One, twin sisters Rose and Belle enroll at an elite New England boarding school where sibling rivalry. Yes, that word. Toxic friendships and predatory teacher culminates in a tragic murder that leaves one sister dead and the other under suspicion. I was not impressed with this book.
I wanted to be.
I did too. I again thought,
like we had talked, it has a lot of the pieces that we like. It has a lot of the, the twin thing, the trifecta, the twin thing, the boarding school. And there was one more thing that we were interested in.
Money.
Money. Just money. Yeah. And it was
like average. And I figured it all out as it was going. And I was just not impressed. I didn't think that the characters were developed well.
No, I didn't think so. I'm glad you said that. I didn't think so either. And it was the only twist for me at all was at the very, 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 very end of the book when the little spoilers, right?
Obviously.
When was it Darcy that did the epilogue like a little piece of the epilogue at the end? At the very end? It was somebody else who said that they had already won the game.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only twist that came out of nowhere for me. But I did not like this. Even though I don't like trigger warning pedophilia, obviously, with the relationship between the students and the teachers, it was still lacking.
It
was flat.
Yeah. I was not impressed. It was unremarkable. The characters, like nothing really stood out that I thought even like the teachers weren't really teaching anything. The cops, the only thing I did like kind of was a lot of the story was told in a police setting where they were being interrogated.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little bit different.
But there was some bounce back and forth between the interrogation and the actual timeline.
Right. So I think that part was interesting or different, but the rest of it, I just didn't think there was anything special about it.
Yeah, I thought it was very one-dimensional. Just didn't have a lot of depth to it. And there's a lot of potential there. And I felt like, too, they started to explore some of the stuff. Like, they get into the relationship between the sisters, but they could have done a lot more with that. I mean, other than just, I forgive you, or I'm mad at you. There wasn't a lot there.
Yeah. To me, felt like a bad Lifetime movie. Is what I thought.
Yeah.
When I was listening, like, this is not good.
I was not a fan of was his name Zach?
Yeah.
Even the way he was presented, I didn't like anything that he brought to the table. None of it was impressive.
Don't recommend. If you haven't read it yet, I don't recommend.
No.
It was like a 3.
I was going to say 4.
I made it through.
Yeah.
But
well, it was one of those too that like you keep thinking something's it's going to shift or it's going to hiccup, but it was just always very
blah.
Dry. Yeah.
That was a very descriptive word I used. Well, next week, hopefully the book will be better.
Okay.
Next week is That's Not My Name by Megan Lawley. And this was all over TikTok. So I have better hope for this book. All right. She thought she had her life back. She was wrong. It was a mistake to trust him. Shivering and bruised, a teen wakes up on the side of the dirt road with no memory of how she got there or who she is. A passing officer takes her to the police station, and not long after, a frantic man arrives. He's been searching for her for hours. He has her school ID, her birth certificate, and even family photos. He is her father. Her name is Mary, or so he says. When Lola slammed the car door and stormed off into the night, Drew thought they just needed some time to cool off, except Lola disappeared, and the sheriff, his friends, and the whole town are convinced Drew murdered his girlfriend. Forget proving his innocence. He needs to find her before it's too late. The longer Lola is missing, the fewer leads there are to follow, and the more danger they both are in.
So I have read this.
Okay.
When I was going through our list, trying to get a little bit ahead, and loved it.
Okay.
I actually am downloading it again to read it again because I enjoyed this one.
Awesome. So that is for next week. High hopes. And I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. We love you. Please
We
like.
thank you. We thank you for your listening.
What was that?
I don't know. I'm so weird.
We hope that you enjoyed this episode. Come back next week. Please tell your friends and leave us a review.
Thank you. We love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Wow, I just sounded like Lucky Charms fell out of my mouth.
All right, that wraps up another episode of This Is My Circus. If you survived this episode and somehow still like us, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, share it with your friends, or just send us caffeine.
And don't forget, you can join our VIP circus crew for the full video version of each episode. Also, exclusive bonus content, access to merch, and so much more.
Until next time, keep the drink strong, the book's coming, and the kids only mildly feral.
Because this is our circus, and these are our monkeys.
Love ya!